I'm gonna go ahead. All right. Hi everyone. Welcome to 1stGenTalks. Welcome back. Today's topic is ideas for the summer or summer plans. So today I think we're just gonna share like what to recommend you do this summer, considering that we're still under quarantine or still have stuff closed up. But we have some ideas, and also maybe sharing like what we're gonna do this summer. So I think I'll start off with the question of what is like your number one thing you want to get done by this summer or accomplished?
Mine, I'm so excited. This just came in the other day. I want to finish this. Start and finish it.
Oh my god, I love that.
So I am like, this is my summer read. Well, I have two. So this is my first one, but I just got it in the other day. So I'm hoping that I can finish it. Last time, like the books, I bought all three books and they were so good that literally I couldn't stop reading. So it took me like a couple of days per book. So I'm like super excited about this. And it's funny because I think after grad school, I just didn't want to touch a book. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to read. I don't want to see any articles. So I'm like super excited. So anybody feel free to borrow it after I'm done.
Yeah. And if anyone doesn't get that, grad school is just a lot of reading.
Oh my God, yeah. Grad school so much reading. And then my second one is I just joined a book club for amateur. It's called Amateur, but it's like talking about race, gender, and masculinity. And I'm doing it with a group of like my fraternity brothers who are all like Latinos. And so like we've never had a space to be able to talk about, deconstructing masculinity. What does that mean, not only in our organization, but like in general, the way we grew up. So those are my two things. And it's funny because again, like I'm saying, like I didn't want to read after grad school. So like I'm super excited to kind of get some summer reading done.
Oh my goodness. You just reminded me of like a funny story. When I got Catching Fire for Hunger Games, I read it all like in one day. Like I stayed up overnight,
Yes.
and I just got it out of the way because I was just so excited to just read the books. But that's part two, like Catching Fire, that one was my favorite, and like I read it all like in one day. That's one of my
we just did a movie, Hunger Games movie marathon. We have one more movie to go. So I was like, as soon as I'm done with the last movie, I'm gonna want to start the book. But even with the other books, I remember I was like at night and it'd be like 1 a.m, and I'd be like, just one more chapter.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my summer plans so far. What about y'all?
You want to go?
I think for me too, like I definitely want to get some reading done. Because I don't know, during school, like there's already so much reading, like, and I don't really get time to read what I want to read. So yeah, I was thinking about reading too, and maybe just, I don't know, just taking a break, just trying to breathe, and yeah.
I think like you both said, I definitely want to get more into books. I definitely want to get more into like those poetry books, or like learning more about there's this one book that I've been trying to read, excuse my language, it's called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And I've been trying to read that to help me learn, to lessen my anxiety, to stop like overthinking so much, because I have the problem of overthinking and it sucks. Like the littlest things, like if like even if Nikki changes like the slightest tone, if we're texting, I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, he's mad at me. like that's just
She's
me.
a
Like,
Cancer.
huh?
That's so
Because
funny.
she's a Cancer.
Yes, my zodiac sign's a Cancer. And that's what I mean. I've been reading some of the pages so far, and the book has been so funny. It's so funny, but it's also so helpful. So I'm definitely trying to read more of those types of books. I definitely too this summer want to focus more on like taking care of my skin, and getting into the routine of like taking care of like not only my skin but also doing like little workouts here and there now that I have more time. I used to always be like, well, I don't have time to go to the gym, or I don't have time to do this, but like I know this summer, like once class is in, I'll definitely have more time. And definitely since I'm home and stuff, I definitely want to do more outside too, like activities, so definitely doing more workouts outside. And definitely watching more movies and shows. I've been making a list of shows and stuff like that I've been trying to watch, but I've been waiting for school to end so I could just sit down and watch them all the way through. I think I'm the only one who hasn't watched Avatar like all the way through just yet. I know.
Funny. We were like, let's watch Avatar before we knew it was gonna come out on Netflix. So we bought it. So we had it, and then it came out on Netflix, and we're like, God, like, ah. But we also just finished watching The Legend of Korra too. So we binge watched all 4 seasons of Legend of Korra, which I wish they would make a 5th season, because the end of season 4
Which is
Like the last like 3 minutes of the end of season 4, I was like, oh, okay, this could have like a different tone in season 5. So I don't know, and I'm hoping that like the makers can make the show between Legend of Korra and the Avatar, because there's so much in there. Sorry, I just nerded out.
no, you're good. You're good.
Oh my god, that's awesome. I need to watch Legend of Korra because I loved Avatar. So
I've heard it's like on like if you just Google it, like there's some websites that you could just watch all the seasons on.
We bought it through, I think we bought it through Amazon.
Amazon.
And it's like a Nickelodeon subscription, so you can watch like SpongeBob SquarePants, you can watch like everything in Nickelodeon.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
that's what I mean. I've hold off on that show because I like to like actually watch them through and not space them out, because I know, especially like right now during this week, it's just like it's about to be finals and it's just been hectic with like getting stuff done. But I definitely want to catch up on that show. I used to watch it when I was little, but I don't remember much. But I definitely want to watch it now, especially since everyone like on Twitter and stuff is making memes about it. I'm like, I want to get it too.
And you catch on to things that you didn't catch on when we were kids.
Yes.
Like there's an episode where Zuko, or no, not Zuko, but one of the characters is like doing this plant, and then he's just high through like the whole episode. And at first I was like, as a kid, I was like, I don't get this. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh,
That's
like,
funny.
We're baked. They're all stoned. All right, I get it now. But I agree with you. I have a lot of shows I want to watch. I just finished Money. I finished Money Heist. That George keep making me want to watch.
I was like, who told you, George?
George, yeah. And it's funny because I gave it 5 episodes. I always give it 1 to 2 episodes, and after 5 episodes, I didn't like it. And then it finally went back into it, and I didn't like it because I was watching it while I was playing Animal Crossing, so I was like missing so many things. And finally, I was like, oh wait, no, like this is actually really good. So then I binge watched all 4 seasons.
Already? Dang. No,
Yeah.
like it. Yeah, like just shows like that. Like I've been trying to like catch up on shows. I think you even recommended, what is it?
Schitt's Creek. Oh my god, you would love Schitt's Creek.
Oh my god, I watched it because of you and I loved it.
Yeah, I relate to David as a character so
Me
much.
too. Oh my god, me too. David has to be a Torres.
Yes. You have to watch Schitt's Creek. It is one of the funniest things I've ever watched, and I can relate to the characters in so many ways too. So I think it's one of the best ones. And the last season isn't out yet on Amazon or on Netflix, so there's still another season. Ooh. And then the other one that I also recommend is The Good Place. If you guys haven't watched it,
is that one about like they're like dead kind of, or like?
It's the concept of like going to heaven when you die, but it's just this funny twist that it's really, I love it. So those are 2 shows that I totally recommend everybody watching.
Oh, I love Schitt's Creek. It makes me want to be like a creative director like David is, and oh my god, it's amazing. And the show has like, I read reviews on it, and like just like the fashion in it, like it's just really like, I don't know, innovative, and the way they use fashion within the show, and just the topics they talk about too is really awesome.
Yeah, and you know, they have like LGBTQIA characters, they have characters of color, the fact that there's a gay director running the show. And it's funny because when it first came out, it took like I think 2 seasons for people to start catching on in America that this existed, and then people were like, okay, this is really freaking funny. Like, it's so funny. I love that show.
Yeah.
See, like, on my Netflix, it literally has like my list, and I have all those shows like lined up because I'm ready. Like I'm so ready. I'm so ready. And then like movies too, because I see there's like so many movies coming out on Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. So I'm.
If you guys have any movie recommendations, please send them my way. I've been looking to like new movies because I feel like I've been I haven't found like good movies recently.
Like for a minute, huh? I'll definitely look at see what I've watched previously, but no, that's like my plans. And then I think definitely I've been trying to get into like painting or maybe drawing. I'm not like an artist or anything, but like I definitely love like how we get those canvases and just paint and like do your own thing. So I want to do something like that. I want to go get like some paint and canvases and just paint outside again. I'm trying to get more into that.
I love it. I think with that too, I've been wanting to do, I always do one hike a summer, like one hike and that's it. Like I'm not an outdoorsy guy. Like I'm one of those like not outdoorsy gays. I hate outdoors. Like that's me. So like, but I do one hike every summer. And so I'll probably do that one hike this summer too, whether that be like a Fortuner or a smaller hike. But I'm also like, that's also one of my summer plans, and buying patio furniture. I don't have patio furniture, but I want to sit outside, you know, like it's summer, I want to sit outside.
You're like, I should probably get a chair just to sit out there.
Brings patio furniture and the TV and plays Animal Crossing.
I'm
playing outside.
I wouldn't be surprised. Have you been to the incline? Have you hiked the incline?
You know, it's like literally, sorry, it's water. Sorry, I'm just, I promise. So I live right next to the Garden of the Gods, like down the street, like 2 minutes from Garden of the Gods, like legit. And then the Manitou Springs is like 15 minutes. I literally went to pick up Chinese the other day in Manitou Springs because it's so close. So literally the incline's right there. But like, again, I'm not very outdoorsy. So I feel bad that we have our home next to like very outdoorsy places, but I haven't done it yet, but we were talking about it. So I think I might give it a try this summer.
I've only done each one once, the Garden of the Gods and the incline, and I haven't gone back since. But I've been trying to get more into that too, like going outside, like the hike.
Yeah. Even if you don't do the incline, but you go to Manitou Springs, Manitou is just such a cute little like city. They have very like authentic food, really cute Mexican restaurants that are mom and pops.
When I went, I didn't even know like it was actual like little city, like they had little shops. I just thought, I was like, oh, you could park and go take the trail, but like it's actually really cute when you come in, and like it's so pretty too. Sometimes I think I went when it wasn't sunny, but it was cloudy and it was gonna rain, so it looked cute though. It looked like one of those like movie scenes though, where it's like you're in a small city, you don't know where you are. So.
They have like little arcade, like old school arcade machines too. They have like a little ice cream shop. It's really cute. I totally recommend coming. And then in October, they have what's called coffin races in Manitou Springs, where people make their own coffins and they race. And people are like dressed up, like everybody's dressed up in costumes. There's big events. Like it's so much fun. So like in October, keep that in mind for Manitou Springs.
I like that. Any future students that come in?
Right? Does a trip with all of them? All right, everybody.
I know, another winter retreat over there.
What about you, Nikki? What are your summer plans?
So besides like reading, just taking care of myself, I did just recently get an internship that I'm going to be starting in next week.
Woo, awesome.
I'm actually super excited about. What was that?
What is it in?
So it's for victim services, and I'm gonna be like a case management intern for human trafficking victims.
That is freaking awesome.
I've been like interviewing, like Zoom meetings, and like and I like went. It's really close to DU, and I like went in for an interview. But I'm just so excited. I think I'm excited just like on a professional level, like just to figure out what I want and like build more skills and like I don't know, just start dressing up again. But also just like on a personal, like a human level, like just like working with people and really seeing I don't know, just a different side. And like one thing that I talked about this in my interviews, like it mirrors exactly what kind of work you're doing with 1GenU, because it's like it is case management, and like what the intern program does is it like works with the survivors, and it's not just it's connecting them to resources, but also like going through it with them, and like calling people for them and doing stuff like that for them. And I was like, I love that. Like I feel like I've done that with students, and I've done that like with like on college campuses, and I'm excited to like branch out and like really see more.
That's really incredible. You know, when I had a summer internship, and it actually landed me a job right after I graduated, but it was at the Center for Work Education and Employment, which is working with families, and they were on TANF, which is Temporary Assistance for Needy Families, which is a government funding. And my case management load was women who were beaten, battered, pregnant, kicked out of the home. And it honestly taught me a lot about like how to be more human, which like I already knew how, right? But it just taught me so much more about humanity and taking care of one another, and my privilege as a male that I never even had to think about, that I never challenged myself on. So you're going to learn so much, but I think one of the biggest things you're going to take out of it is that human aspect and human interaction of like caring and love and all these skills you're going to learn too. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you. I'm very excited too. I'm like, I don't know, it just feels like something that I want to do. Like, I don't want a career where I feel that human aspect. I could never imagine myself like working for a corporation or like, I don't know, just trying to make money. So yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. I'm so excited for you. That's going to keep your summer busy.
Thank you. Yeah, it is.
I guess the next question I have for like all of us is, what would you like recommend our students do for this summer, to not even just be prepared for coming into college, but, just for themselves before they come to the university?
Yeah. I think it just students all across the board should focus on like physical and mental health. I think the spring quarter was just so tough for so many people, and just mentally, just a lot of us just were going through it. So, the summer is such a great spot where, COVID is starting to hopefully die down, but, you can start being more outdoorsy. You can start having some of those interactions, but still keeping the virtual spaces available. And I'd love for encourage people to focus on your mental health. Like, now that you're out of school, now that that's not your focus, like switch your focus and focus on mental health. What's good for you? What's good for your soul? Right? Whether that be like an internship, like Nikki is saying, or whether that be working out, whether that be reading, like do something that's focused on you. And even for our incoming scholars, like shit's about to hit the fan when you come to the fall. Like college is rough at times. So like enjoy the freedom, like get yourself just mentally prepared and physically prepared. So that'd be my advice.
Awesome.
Yeah, what about two of you? What would you recommend? What would be your advice?
I would say I would recommend definitely looking more into your self-identity. So whether that be like making a list of like things that, you are grateful for, or like, writing a letter to yourself, I think is a big deal. I think before I came in as a first year during the summer, I wrote a letter to myself for like 1 year later to like open once I'm done with my first year of college. I still have that letter. But I think it's such a great reflection to see how much you've grown as a person sometimes, because it's true. It sounds so cheesy and cliche, but when we do like work with our 1JU students, like when they come as first years, I try to tell them like, you're going to go through a lot and you're going to change, and that's okay. Like, but some of them are like,
Sure,
nah,
yeah.
yeah, some of them don't get, like, some of them are just like, no, it's fine. It's like, I was just like, it's fine, but just remember, like, you're gonna go through changes, and that's okay too. But like everyone likes to think like, no, I'm gonna be fine, or like I'm gonna be the same, don't even worry. But like I don't know, I worry about if you are the same when you end your first year of college. I think everyone should go through, realize that you're gonna go through those changes, and it's also great to reflect on that. So I think that's why I would recommend writing a letter to yourself, because I definitely got to see where I grew a lot in. But besides that, I think also in realizing, taking the time for yourself, trying to understand like what do you like and what don't you like, learning about your boundaries, especially when you come to college, learning about like, what's your limits, especially when you come to college, you're going to learn what pushes your buttons and what doesn't, and learning about. So I think it's very great to come in with that self-awareness and that self-identity that you develop. That was, wow, I feel so deep. I'm like, wow, so deep. But like
Yeah. I think you make such great points of like, college is such a transitional season, so it's important to kind of do some of that reflection now and get yourself set up for that environment. But I love everything you're saying too. College is one of those places where you're supposed to grow and learn and change. Like, who you start out with your first year shouldn't be the same person who you end your first year, and it's an ongoing process. And it's continuous, such an ongoing process. And like, you two are a perfect example of how the two of you have grown, not only with yourself, your self-love, your identities, your strengths, your like tenacity. Like there's so much you've grown, and that, and you've seen that. So like it gets really exciting when you're right. We tell our first years, this is what you can expect, and they're like, oh no. And then they end their first couple of years or their first year, and they're like, oh shoot, you were right. Okay.
And I think also like on an unserious note, like just take some time for yourself to relax. Don't feel bad. I like personally, like sometimes I feel bad that I don't have like something to do, or if I'm just relaxing laying down the bed, I'll feel guilty for a bit because I'm like, Brianna, you should be doing this and this. But sometimes it's okay to take a break and just lay down, relax. If you need to go watch TikTok, if you need to watch YouTube, if you need to like watch Netflix, that's fine. Understand that it's time to relax, especially if you're someone who was so busy in high school. Like I understand that a lot of students, from AP and especially from this spring quarter, I understand that everyone went through a lot. We all lost, something, and with everything going on, it's also a great time to just relax and get some peace.
Yeah.
I think too, like just personal experience. Like I know this summer, like I was gonna go to like I was hoping to go to like the Stanford summer internship, but with everything going on, they just everything got canceled and stuff, which is fine. Everything happens for a reason.
Of course.
But I've been trying to think like, okay, this is your time now to just relax too and just be with your family while you can, because once we go back, like you said, Fredo, once we go back, shit's gonna pop off and like it's gonna get busy and it's gonna get pretty like chaotic, maybe like in terms of like.
Yeah. And for you all too, like I want to remind you that as an adult, we don't really have summers anymore. So like take the time to really enjoy it. Like you have only a few summers left where you're gonna be with your family before you go off to the real world. Like next summer there is no summer. Like you are job searching, like wherever you are in graduation, but you're job searching, you're a full-time job, like summer just becomes another like season instead of like days off. So really enjoy the last couple summers you have, enjoy it with your college friends too, your parents, your families before life just gets freaking busy.
I remember, I think Alfredo, when after my first year was done, I didn't know like that you were still working during the summer. And I'm like,
Other people think we get summer
I was like,
off.
what are you gonna do for summer break? You're like, well, I still have to come into the office. I was like, what? You still have to come in? I thought the school was shut down. You're like, for the students. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like I didn't realize that.
It is funny because a lot of people think that. They think that like once you all go to summer, we go to summer, and it's like, no, we still work. If anything, we work a little bit more now because it's like the planning season,
Oh yeah, especially for the year, and then pre-orientation. By the way, got planned and like.
Yeah.
And now I realize that I'm like, it's not just like, all right, bye everyone. Everyone's gone for the summer, so that's what I mean. Definitely take the time to relax. Like I know me and Nikki have a lot going in when we come back to campus, with our roles and stuff like that. So that's gonna be very like a lot of work. So I think it's cool right now that we're gonna take the time to just relax before we dive into all that.
I'm also hoping to do, hopefully with COVID calming down just a little bit, hopefully. I love to do some traveling. I don't know about you all, but like I am itching to travel. Like I want to leave.
Take a road trip.
Yeah, and we always do like a summer road trip too, Jake and I. So we're excited to kind of do that. But I'm hoping to fly home and be on the beach, be with the family, like enjoy some great seafood. Like that's what I'm looking for. That to me sounds so amazing right now. So what about you two? Are you planning any summer travels, hopefully?
I was gonna go on I literally was planning on a road trip on Wednesday, to go, like me and my friends were gonna drive to California, but those plans are, I don't know yet now. Just with everything going on, I just don't know if it's the best time to do it right now. And I think it might be better to just wait till like maybe more into the summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I definitely, I've been itching to travel too, and I want to. But yeah, but like also one thing that I wanted to really echo is like to do over the summer and preparing for next year is even though it's summer, I think just keep educating yourself, keep reading, and if you're out there protesting, bring those experiences into the classroom. And I just, with everything going on right now, I think like education now more than ever is so important. And I think, and just don't be afraid to speak up and like keep your voice going. And like I know in college, like especially as first generation students, as students of color, like you go into classrooms and like you feel scared, it's scary and you feel scared, and you don't always want to speak up. But I encourage people to just keep educating and know that your voice matters, and we need your voice to just keep doing that. So yeah, and maybe go out and be an activist and make some change, and change your heart and change your language. And
yeah, and with all of that, somebody was asking me for some advice the other day too, and my advice was like document these things. Like if you're out there, document it. If something is impacting you in so many strong ways, write poetry about it, write about it. Like,
Yeah.
documenting these moments is so important because they're documenting history. Like, can you all of our kids are going to ask us some sort of report in high school, hey, what was 2020 like? And I'm like, well, where do I even start?
Yeah.
Or like even in class, you might have a class project where you can do a documentary with all these different pieces that you have, all these different writings, like all these different photos. Like, this is activism at its max right now. So as you all are out there protesting, as you're out there reflecting on things, don't forget to document these things because they're going to be really important. And I'd love for like years down the road to look back and be like, wow, like, okay, this is what was going on at the time. This is how I was feeling. This is how I was documenting things. Like, so don't forget to do that too. I think there's so much power in that as well.
Yeah. And then also, like, just on a note of how you said, like, if you feel things, I feel like people are like, oh my God, like, you're angry, like, you need to calm down. Like, but I am a valid, like, advocate that your emotions are powerful and you should use your emotions. Your emotions are not something to hide, not something to put away. Those emotions, you feel them for a reason. And you should use that. If you're angry, then you're valid to be angry. And and I think you should put that emotion into something, like you said, poetry or something, channel. But I think the tipping point is when, like, you're angry and, like, you just choose to be violent. But I think the biggest thing is use your emotion and channel it in such a positive way to make a difference.
And this is such a great time, not only with what's going on in the world, but for LGBTQIA plus individuals, this is Pride Month too. Like, it's Pride Month. So I also love to challenge everybody on, like, not only challenge yourselves on, like, better understanding who you are, what you want to be, who you want to be, whether that be activism, whether that be out there expressing yourself, whether that be your racial identity, whether your other identities. Like, this is a powerful month, like, for so many different reasons. Don't let one overshadow the other whatsoever, because it's important right now to just, like, activism, our race, our identities, all of it is so important. So, like, I love everything you're saying, Nikki. And I don't know, this is such a powerful month for so many different reasons. So, like, and special shout out to everyone. Like, I've seen the posts, I've seen the videos, I've seen the photos, I've seen the flyers, the posters y'all are making. Like, I am loving everything you're all doing and representing right now. Like, this is to see our young scholars use their voice and be so powerful. It really inspires so many other generations too. So, like, keep doing what you're doing, because I'm loving everything I'm seeing.
And then on Pride Month, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Black trans women that started the LGBT rights movement. So yeah, just shout out to them and keep them in mind. Keep the Black trans people in mind that started that. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think one important thing to know is, like, when you get educated, no one's gonna take away your education. Like, no one's allowed to take away what you've learned. And I think you both brought up important points that, become educated this summer, learn more about it. It sucks because when you see online about people who don't get it, it's more about, you need to learn. Then you need to get that education and figure out why this is happening, instead of, trying to blame, like, and calling it dumb what's going on. It's not about that. It's about, like, learning about why this is happening and the reason behind it. And it's just so frustrating to see that, there's individuals who are not educated on it, and there's very ignorant people out there. But just know that when you get educated, you always have that with you, and you carry that with you.
Yeah. And you'll be challenged by your education too. It would be like, people will challenge your ideas. And
and I just want to remind everyone that, like, none of us are perfect, and no one in the world is 100% perfect. And so we're all learning, we're all growing, and we're all getting all these big pieces of information. We're all trying to educate ourselves on our privileges, or who we are, and so on. So, like, this is also why the summer is such a great time to reflect on these things and continue to grow on these different things. And like you're all saying, reading, educating yourself, being more aware of what's going on in the world too. Some people just like to tune out, but we're at the time in our life where we can't tune out, unfortunately.
Yeah. All right.
So it sounds like a busy summer full of so much.
Literally, yes. I think if anyone wants to say one last thing, we could go ahead and just wave a goodbye. But I just want to make one thing clear that this is technically the last podcast of this quarter. But we'll see what happens fall quarter, come back. But if you ever have any questions, just feel free to always reach out to me, Nikki, or Fredo, or anyone else who has been on this podcast. They're always open to talking to you. And don't be afraid to ask us questions or ask, for help, or just even the littlest things. And also, just remember that even though if this isn't happening during summer, or if this doesn't the podcast doesn't happen in the quarter, in the fall or anything like that, you still use your voice. Don't just say don't like Nikki said, use your voice. It's there with you, especially when you come in during your first, if you're first year coming into the quarter. Don't be intimidated by the professors or the students around you. You have your voice for a reason. Use it. And yeah, I just want to give that a quick little note. But did y'all want to say one last thing before?
No, I'm excited for summer. Hopefully as COVID dies down, if anybody has any cool summer plans, invite me. Any graduation parties? That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm just really excited for the summer. I think spring was hard for so many of us. I'm excited for a lot of us to kind of take a step back and see and enjoy summer for, what summer is.
I'm turning 21 in July, so I'm excited.
Oh my God. y'all are getting older since I'm getting older, so.
It flew by fast, but I just want to say, I'm just grateful, to have made it this far.
Yeah, I think you worded that perfectly, Brianna, and I just wanted to give a huge thank you to you for doing this and doing all that you do, and taking time out of your day to put this on. And yeah, shout out to you, Brianna. You're amazing.
Yeah, this is great, Brianna. So many of these podcasts have you've invited so many guests and people have loved this, and this podcast, you have empowered people. People have used their voice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you completely understand, maybe you do, how important this was, and, how important the platform is. Whether a lot of people watch this or not, you're still providing a space for people to use their voice and everything. So I love to see if we can continue this maybe throughout the summer. Maybe we do it bi-weekly, every 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe we continue it back in the fall. So huge shout out to you. This is really your podcast, and we're your guest every week. So thank you for having us.
Thank you guys for always joining me. I mean it. I love doing this. And I think just for anyone who watches in the future and stuff, always let me know if you do want to be on here and talk. This is literally just a space for us to freely talk and, be able to it's just different topics every time. And I definitely want to come up in the summer. I want to come up with more ideas and make it more creative and find out more guests that could join, outside of DU, maybe finding actual people who are involved in different organizations. Maybe Nikki might be able to find me some networks over there while he's in his internship, and we could talk about more other topics. But yeah, I just want to go ahead and give everyone a huge shout out for watching. Thank you so much, to anyone who watched or felt impacted by this. We do this for you. I do it for everyone, to give us a space for everyone to be able to talk freely. And also I talk a lot, so it's just a perfect combination. But yeah, I think we could go ahead and wave off, and I could end the recording here.
Bye everyone, happy summer.